Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Strap yourself in because we're set up, switched on and ready to go.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
Good evening, everybody. How the devil are we? It's so nice to see you. It's been ages. Been absolutely ages. Yeah, and I tell you what, guys, you are so much better than last week's audience. You really are. How's it been? Are you well? Now, if you actually do read the information below on YouTube, it does carry a bit of a warning that there might be flashing lights, there might be a bit of bad language, but I do have to give you a separate warning that if you've got a pair handy, go get your sunglasses, because believe you me, you are going to need them, because I don't know, we're lucky to get the guy, because I think the guy's actually going on the Tour de France in a minute. But we're going to say hello to Jack from Southampton fan site Matchday Vlogs. Good evening, sir.
Hey, buddy. I've just the tyres are inflating at the back, so I'll be off. I'm off to Paris soon. But in the meantime, just getting the jersey ready.
You said you got your tyres inflating at the back. I've got my my date tonight inflating at the back. My God, sir, that is bright.
Well, you know, I went to it's my birthday tradition that I go to the St. Mary's or I go to the club shop to buy the new season's top. And the day I went, on my birthday, they had this lovely number out, limited edition. I thought, do you know what? That's a bit of me. That's so vibrant and out and like ridiculous. I'll buy one of them. So, you know,
can I just say, have you ever thought why it's a limited edition?
I know exactly why it's limited edition, and that's why I got it. This is one of those shirts that right now, me and you are going, look how silly that thing is. But in like 10 years, I'm going to be like, oh, that silly shirt. I wish I had that. And I do have it. So I'm fine with it. I'm fine with my decisions in life.
Yeah, I think it'd take more than 10 years for me to get used to. I tell you what, though, that you know, if you ever get a little bit older and unfortunately, you know, you get Alzheimer's, but people will be able to find you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people will probably think I have some sort of mental condition buying it, but that's fine. I'm okay with my life decisions. I feel like everybody should wear all these colors all the time. I mean, why do I have to stick to black and grey all the time? Let's go all the colors.
You did describe yourself once as the better looking of the two of you that present Matchday Vlogs, but
and I stand by that. Yeah,
but you're certainly not the one with the better dress sense. But
hey, listen, you've not seen Mike day to day. He might dress all right for camera, but it's egg down his white t-shirt on the off days. You know, it's
Jack, thank you so much for coming on. I say that through gritted teeth with what I'm looking at. But you've joined us from Saints Fancast Matchday Vlogs. Give it a shout out. How can people find you?
Yeah, we are Matchday Vlogs across the board. YouTube, TikTok. I don't do the TikTok. Mike does the TikTok, but the TikTok's doing well. Our TikTok has more likes than the Portsmouth official one. Therefore, I win.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
So Matchday Vlogs everywhere. You know, we talk about Southampton. Not a lot of places talk about Southampton. Even when I'm watching pre-games for Southampton, they tend to be talking about different teams. So if you want to know the news, come and see us.
Yeah.
Come and see us.
Please do. The link is in the description below, like I say, on YouTube. And if you're watching us, we are Leicester Till I Die on Facebook, Leicester Till I Die, the group, on Twitter at Leicester TID. And if you're on YouTube, give us a subscribe, tweet me knobs. I do like my knobs to be tweaked, and subscribe. We're so close to the 1,000. It is, I can taste it. So please subscribe. But hey, we've got our Jan, as they say.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I'm a bit worried about you. We are becoming sort of the Southampton B team here. But I spoke to Mike earlier on in the season when we were getting Ryan Bertrand in, and he wasn't too sorry to see him going. And from what I'm gathering, I don't think you're too sorry to see Jan leaving.
No, not really. I think of all the positions in the team and all the players to go, we all kind of expected this to happen anyway. The biggest surprise for me is, as somebody who sat there in the rain and watched us lose 9-0, I can't believe the team that beat us 9-0 has just bought half of that defence.
This is the scary thing, and I'm glad you brought it up because I wasn't going to.
It's not often I will bring up that game, but for this sentiment, does Rodgers sat there going, these guys, I'll be able to get them cheap soon.
Yeah, well, you do wonder. See if Wolves beat us 9-0 tomorrow. But in fairness, if Vestergaard fits in as well as Ryan has done, he, and I say Ryan because if I say Bertrand, I keep wanting to go Bertrand and make him sound exotic and French. I mean, he's had a great preseason for us, Ryan. What impressed me was the fact that we got an injury on the Wednesday against Villarreal, and it was a disgusting injury. And it's a friendly. Come on, And I was hoping that Chelsea would do us a favour and bugger him up in the Super Cup, but they didn't, the cowards. But within a week, we'd identified somebody we wanted, which was Jannik, and I know we've been after him for a while. We've been inquiring for a while, and like a week he was down at our place. But you let him come already. You let us come. You've let him train with us. It was almost like, give us your 15 million and have him as quick as you can.
It was, I don't know what, I think we all thought that Vestergaard was going to go to you guys anyway. I think we all sort of thought it was on the cards. And then as soon as Fofana got injured, for me, that was it confirmed. I was like, he's going to go to Leicester because they're getting for a good price with a year left. Yeah. And he's just a solid centre-back. Now, is he as solid as everyone thinks he is? In parts, yes. I think Rodgers is going to have to do a real job, and I think he's going to really have to up his game to warrant to stay in that squad once Fofana comes back. But for me, it's not that big a loss. And we all, like I said, we all sort of saw it coming, especially after his performance at the Euros, which is probably the best I've seen Vestergaard. Yeah. But he was the one that tackled that gave away the penalty against England. So let's.
Yeah, you're not filling me with confidence.
I'm not meant to. I'm not here to fill you with confidence. I'm here to say thank you for the 15 milli and enjoy this very slow defender who can knock a ball 60 yards pretty well. Enjoy that.
But I mean, yes, thank you. But once we were in this position, because of course Wes Morgan's retired, and bless him, I love Wes Morgan to bits, but he was becoming a liability, if I'm honest with you, at the back. I know his last couple of appearances were purely for sentiment, but once Fofana was injured, Evans, who's very good, but he's old, so and when they get to a certain age, they do take longer to recover from, what Jamie Vardy takes to recover now compared to when we were in the Premier League is almost twice as long. And when we're looking at the options, I quite fancied a Cahill coming in for one season and just giving us that stability and that filling that gap in. But I was more than happy with Vestergaard buying him, and it gives us that, does give us that cover because, we got a Martin. He played well in the Community Shield, but it wasn't up against the full or Community Shield Super Cup, English Super Cup, as I like to call it.
That's a good way to look at it. Yep.
Yes, that's if we'd lost it, it would have been like the meaningless pre-season friendly for charity. But it's the English Super Cup to me. But we do, we did Marty. Yeah, he doesn't always fill us with confidence, but. He's got the experience. He can come in. He's got that relationship with Ryan Bertrand, that he's had for a few seasons. He's got, Casper behind him, and he's got that relationship with him. It is almost a perfect fit.
Yeah, I think when I look at it, I do want to, like I said, I think it's a winner for everyone. I don't think I'd be lying if I said last season we weren't stronger with Vestergaard in the team. We absolutely were, but there were moments where he wasn't. He hasn't got a lot of pace, and with the way we play with the press, he needs to be able to get back fast. And there are certain things in the squad that he just wasn't doing. But I think you're right. I think this move, especially with Schmeichel behind him, like those two together will run that back line, and Bertie will do a job. The only thing with Bertrand on the other side is that after seeing Peru join Southampton at left back in that role, I see how much pace you can have on that wing. Like Bertrand is a much more of a defensive player than he used to be, and there was always a little itch in the back of my head when I watched him play the last couple of seasons. Where could we get more out of that position? Is he the player he was all going forward? So I'd be more shaky about Bertrand and Vestergaard in the two that you bought, but I think together they should definitely they're sure up your defense. It's it's just good moves from you.
I mean, Ryan, he for us, he can get the ball past the first man at a corner and at a free kick, which we seem to have struggled with for the past 2 seasons. It's Leicester have got a free kick or a corner, that's fine. They'll just hit our wall and take it down.
There's not many left-footed players in the league right now, decent left-footed players that can hit a set piece in. And, if we've, as a team that has probably the best set piece taker in the league, so, with Ward-Prowse, every time that ball was on the left, we still, on the right, we still gave it to Bertie because he was good enough to, he was on that level with that foot. So, he's definitely going to do a job for you there.
And I'm hoping that if Ryan can get the balls across, that Jannik will be on the end of them. He's 6 foot. What is he? 6'6", 6'7"?
Yeah, he is ginormous. When you see him in real life as well, I remember seeing the first few photos. I'm like, oh, he's big. And then when I saw him in real life, I was like, oh, he's a giant, especially compared to a lot of the team. So he should add 5 or 6 goals to your season of from set pieces. That's no doubt. Again, the big complaint a lot of Southampton fans was not only did we concede a lot, but we also didn't score a lot, and we did miss him at set pieces, as a target man when he was out. So
that was a struggle we were having, was scoring from set pieces as well. So I can say for me, he's ticking a lot of boxes, and you do wonder. I mean, when everybody's fit, it's going to be scary, and Brendan's going to have some big decisions to make. We're in 4 competitions, the 2 cups, the Premier League and Europa. They can't all play 90 minutes in every single game. So I think they're all going to get a game in some form. But looking here, he's had he's 29, let's say centre back. But he's been around a little bit in his time. Hoffenheim, Bremen, Mönchengladbach. 72 games for yourself. But he's played for Denmark. He's played at every level that he could possibly play at.
Oh yeah, like he is kind of that ultimate Denmark player. Really, he's just this big tank that sits at the back. He's as classic a footballer as you kind of get really in the modern game. He's just a big dude that sits at the back. He can knock a long ball up. He's great on his head. And like you say, he's now, especially with the past Euros, he has got big competition under his belt. A lot of people could probably say, maybe at Southampton he's not playing the big teams consistently, and when he is. Well, we don't have the best record against those sort of teams, as people seem to like to tell us all the time. So he can really do a job for you, for you guys, especially now he's got this bit more experience. But like I say, if you look at his time with us, it was a lot of baby teeth at the beginning, him trying to get used to it. Then he had a really good patch, and then he got injured, and then he had a really good patch again, and he got another injury. Last season. Something that's not discussed, I think, enough is just how, if people are like, Liverpool were riddled with injuries last season, not as bad as Southampton. We were absolutely destroyed by injuries, and he was one of them. We really missed him in the back 4 a lot of the time, and we didn't have any other centre backs. We only had 2 full backs the entire season, and when one of them went out, we were then playing one of those centre backs out. So it was nuts.
Nobody had the bad injuries that Liverpool had, if you believe the Liverpool Echo.
Honestly like it's I've been talking to a lot of people about top 6 bias today, and I've said this for ages, even after the game that we don't want to mention again. I love Leicester. You're the dream that we all aim for. We're like, they did it. Yeah, they did it. Yeah. So when you win the FA Cup, I loved it. Community Shield, I love it. So I don't really have a bad thing to say about Leicester.
Yeah.
Apart from your rivals with us in the well, you're not, but you're like the pinnacle of where we should be aiming for.
Yeah.
So I've got no ill will for Vestergaard or Bertie going there. I'm just happy we got the money.
Yeah, well, this is it, and hopefully, clubs do look at Leicester and go, we've spent money. I'm not going to lie. We're not Man City, but we're not Preston North End, Rochdale, and those. They'll look at us like we look at Man City and Chelsea. But hopefully, we're the sort of team that clubs, because I don't think of us as a big club still.
No, I think like I say, you're the upper echelon of us, the mid-table, with the people who can struggle. I think you've got the owners that we all want, the ones that love the squad, investment in it. A lot of Southampton fans don't like our owners, but in reality, our owner is a Chinese owner who came in when the Chinese government was all behind the Premier League, and then they all pulled out. So now he is just this guy who's like, get on with it, but I'm not really going to give you extra investment. But he's still like, it's a strange one. He's not doing anything wrong, but people see of him not doing anything wrong as doing something terrible. So it's all strange over here. We're looking for investors. It's all up in the air. But it makes it even worse when we look at Leicester and we're like, that guy loves his team. That guy, when he was on the pitch with the FA Cup, you're like, yes, that's what it's about. That's what we're all about. Especially after the Super League season, to see Leicester do that sort of stuff, you're like, yes, that was a win for all of us, really.
I think it was. I think we became everybody's sort of favourite second team for a while. But it's all about being run properly. And I can go back to the days, and I said this on the show I did earlier, the preview show, is Martin O'Neill, when we were at Filbert Street, used to reverse the signings onto the pitch, because as they came out, the big stand was behind them. And opposite was a wooden shed, virtually, and now we've got the big training facility. It makes you wonder why Maddison would want to go to Arsenal, really.
I have no idea why he would want to do that at all.
I think they're losing to Brentford at the moment. So
they are. I was as I was preparing to come on, I've got the game on the side, and Brentford scored, and I was like, nobody's going to be watching this stream. Everyone's going to be watching Arsenal Fan TV. But I watched the reaction; it was pretty timid, so we should be okay. You mentioned your club there, and you've lost 3 key players, really, because you've lost Danny Ings as well. Are you worried going into the new season? I'm less worried than I think a lot of fans are. I think in reality, our transfer window isn't over yet. We're still looking to sign a centre back / CDM that can kind of do 2 roles. But I mean, we got Adam Armstrong from Blackburn, 28 goals last season. I think 10 assists, like great numbers. So, and we've got Broja from Chelsea. He had 10 goals in the Dutch league. So we're pretty solid up front. It's just a matter of seeing them do it. At the back, we got Peru as left back. We got Semedo from Chelsea. We've signed Theo Walcott on a full. And like I say, I don't think it's over yet. So I'm not as worried as most people think. I think the view for Southampton, a lot of people, is, like I say, it's this kind of top 6 mentality where the people only really see with Southampton is Danny Ings scoring goals, and that's it. And then, like you say, and the big losses. No one ever talks about why all those losses happen. It's just they've fallen apart. Where in reality, when you go to the Manchester United 9-0 game, we had three reserve players making, I think was it three reserve players making their start that game because we were so thin. We had 2 goalkeepers on the bench. And then when that team goes a man down, it just falls apart. Like, we were so injury stricken. At one point we had, I think it was 6 of the starting 11 out, and then bench players. So it's just like, we just didn't have a team. And now we've strengthened, we've got depth. We haven't let as many players out. We have shifted the Edward, that high contracts. I think it looks good for us. I'm not saying we're going to go for Europe or top 10, but I think, trying to push for 10th, that sort of thing, I think it's going to be a better season than anyone's thinking. The amount of pre-season predictions I've seen people saying, Southampton are going to be in the relegation battle, I think there's too much quality in the squad there. And when time for us to go down there, I think we might have spells where it looks like it, but I think the league looks so good this season, I think that might happen a lot. But I think it'll be fine.
Unfortunately, I didn't have you down for relegation, but with the fact that of course, you're losing established players that are coming in, you're not sure how they're going to perform for you. So I think personally, I hope it's not, because I live in Poole in Dorset,
Yeah.
you know, and I've lost Bournemouth that I can't go and watch now, so I don't want to lose Southampton as a local game as well. So you better stay up.
I think the way I look at it is that if you look at our recruitment and you look at the way that we buy players and what kind of players we bring in on the floor, and the players that we have brought in, young, energetic, to be molded still, you know, a lot of pace to their game. And you look at the players that have left; they are sort of the older lot, the old guard. Some, you know, it's all new, and I get why that'd be scary for a lot of fans. But I look at our recruitment, and let's say I look at Aston Villa's. Aston Villa have got some great players that they've brought in. You know, they've got Ings, they've got Amelia from Norwich.
Yeah,
those are great players, but are they necessarily the ones that are for the perfect fit for Aston Villa? The way I look at those signings is not to be too much, is like when Fulham came up, not this time, but the time before, when they signed Schürrle and all these wicked players. Great, you've got all those wicked players, but that doesn't mean they're going to jowl and hit the ground running.
No, exactly.
And Villa were 8 minutes away from going down the season before. They were a VAR decision. I get it. They had a wicked season and they got good owners and blah, 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 but that doesn't always fly in the Premier League. I just feel like that much change is a lot. And as important as Danny Ings was for us, Jack Grealish was more important for them. Definitely.
You could see that when he got injured last season. I appreciate you coming on. Let's finish with this question. Hassan, and I can never say this. Hassan Hootle. One of the favourites to go early, or do you think you'll be sticking with him?
I think we'll be sticking with him to the bitter end, really, and unless it gets ridiculously bad. I think it's good. If you were to see the way our club is set up, like I said before, the people who own the club aren't the people who run the club. The people who run the club are Martin Simmons and Toby. I can't remember his name. And between those two and Ralph, they run the club. The whole from the academy up, they all played a Ralph's playbook. Yeah. They're all, the system's all changing to this. They've got it. There's a lot. I think Southampton differ to a lot of clubs in the sense that Ralph isn't just here to manage the first team. He's here to manage the club.
The club, right? Yeah.
He's really, and you get that. And some fans are for it, some are against it. Some people look at last season and they see the first half of the season and how brilliant it can be, and most of them will see the second half of the season and see how bad it can be. I kind of live in the middle of those two, and I can be, and I know, because I can see where we're going and what we're doing, and I can see where the pitfalls were. But also, I had to watch my team lose the longest for so long. Me and Mike did a stream where we went through each game individually, and up to Christmas we were having fun. And then the second half was the most miserable, 20-30 minutes of my life, having to talk about all these losses. I was like, yeah. What do you remember from this game? I don't know.
I can sympathise with you, because the year before we won it, we had the Great Escape.
Yeah,
and I had a season ticket with my son that year, and it's a 7.5-hour return journey from here to Leicester and back again. And when we were losing week in, week out, we weren't losing badly, but we were still losing. We were down there. I mean, those journeys home were absolutely,
Well, I can't even stand the 30 minutes it takes, back from Southampton. If you lose, there's nothing worse than a midweek game under the lights, coming home, getting home by about 11, 12. It's like, that's not late, but that's enough to annoy me. So in 7.5 hours, no, thank you. That adds. But I think there's a weird atmosphere at St. Mary's right now, where there's a mix of the old guard and the new guard of coming in, and both in the players and the fan base of, we don't like a lot of these new changes. This is a new team completely. And then there's the rest of us that are like, but they're young and they're fresh and they look good in pre-season, and they're here to play with Ralph. That's when all this stuff about Ward-Prowse going to Villa, you knew it wasn't going to happen, because it's built around him. The squad is built around him. New players came on the knowledge that we're going to be playing with James Ward-Prowse this season. All three Chelsea signers said, I want to play with James Ward-Prowse this season. That was a major factor in them signing. So there's a new feeling at St. Mary's, and it's because we've not been there for 14 months. Only a few, and there's only a few of us that have been lucky enough to go for the past 4 or 5 games. It's going to take a while to adjust, and I just hope that no one's silly in the meantime. I hope there's one of the worst things I've heard from pre-season is the second home friendly against Bilbao. Some fans booed at the end. And how you can boo a friendly game. Right. I get, granted, you lose, and okay, but blah, 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 blah. but you've just booed your team for losing a friendly game. Like,
I don't like booing, no matter how bad
a
your
general
team played.
Yeah. No.
Get home, get on social media, vent it there. We do these things and we vent it. We vent our feelings. But no, they've not gone out to play badly. But
exactly,
no.
there's never a reason to boo. And even last game of the season, one of the last games of the season against Leeds, it hurt. Like, whether you're with it or for it, when people were booing the knee at the game, when there wasn't enough people to drown out either way, it made me embarrassed, and people wondered why some of the players walked off the pitch straight away afterwards. It was like, well, you booed them from kickoff.
Yeah.
So no matter what, booing your players is just stupid. Atmosphere in the stadium should only ever be positive.
Definitely.
Unless things die. Unless you're Newcastle, in which case booing, go for it.
Yeah, kind of. They're sort of got an excuse, haven't they?
Absolutely.
Jack, thank you so much. Well, you're going to be back with us in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes.
Because you have volunteered to do the big fat football quiz, which is
very excited.
Named after me. So, as in the big and fat, not the football quiz. So, good luck with that. We'll speak before then. The questions aren't hard, and you do have 3 lifelines. So,
brilliant!
but you're gonna have. You start off with 5 questions on Leicester.
Oh, okay.
But they're quite. We're not going to ask you something that we would expect a Leicester fan to know. Then you have 3 questions on general football, Premier League, England, etc. And then you have 10 questions on Southampton.
Brilliant.
And they're worth 5, 3, and 2 points respectively.
Is there a leaderboard? Is there a leaderboard?
There is a leaderboard, yes.
Oh, in which case there's competition. I'm all about it. Okay, I'm going to be revising for the rest of the week.
It's a full it's full. No
Brilliant.
prize, but it is competition.
Oh, don't worry, I'll make my own prize.
Chelsea are there at the moment. But and you get 3 lifelines. One which is Ask Me. So you might want to use that on the Leicester one. Although I'm pretty much like Jeremy Clarkson. I'm not guaranteed to get it right. There's a second guess. So if you can't decide between 2, you get it wrong, you get a second guess. And then there's I don't like the question at all, ask me another one. So but it's all a bit of fun. It's all a bit of fun. So thanks for volunteering for that. Thanks for coming on tonight. I'd say thanks for wearing the shirt, but I can't. I just can't say it at all.
I'm definitely going to wear it for the next one now, purely because if ever I'm coming on here, this is the shirt I'll be wearing.
I will warn Craig who asked the questions.
Leicester till I die approved, I'm calling this shirt.
Yeah, approved. Yeah, definitely not. But there we go. Quickly, once again, give your channels a shout out, Jack.
We are Matchday Vlogs on Twitter, Instagram, more importantly, YouTube. We're trying to break 2,000 likes. I mean, as soon as Danny Ings went, our subscribers really went up. So don't come just because we're doing poorly. Come because we're entertaining. We try to give you the good stuff. So,
you are entertaining. I'm going to be totally honest with you. It's well worth a follow. I just sit there and just watch you sometimes just for the crack.
Thanks, we try.
But I don't know now, depending what you wear. Jack, thanks very much, mate. Take care. We'll see you in a couple of weeks at the quiz. Thanks very much for coming on.
Wicked. Thanks for having me, Chris. See you soon, buddy.
And you know that he's going to score against you when we play you, don't you?
Yeah. As long as it's not 9, I'm fine. Don't do what you want.
How many times have you mentioned? I'm not going to say.
Listen, mate, the floodgates are open. I'm on a Leicester channel. I wouldn't dare do it on my channel, but I'm here so I can do it.
I love coming on your channel and doing it.
Yeah. It's all right, because your biggest win of all time is still 10-0 against Portsmouth. So therefore...
Yeah. You see, you do know stuff about Leicester.
Hope that's in the quiz.
Yeah, I'll make sure it's not now. Jack, thanks so much, mate. Have a good weekend. Good luck. Who are you playing this weekend?
We have got Everton tomorrow away from home. We haven't won a home game. We haven't won a first game of the season since 2013, and we haven't won at Goodison Park since 1997. So it's not looking good.
No. I will keep my fingers crossed for you, mate. All the best. Take care. Thanks so much. Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. Thanks to Jack there. Do get over to his channel, Matchday Vlogs. I mean, there's Jack and Mike, and they tell it as it is, shall we say. They tell it as it is. It's a good laugh. Tom BB, do you think Daka should get given game time? I think he'll get game time. We're in 4 competitions. I think he will. Andrew, how can you break somebody's leg in a friendly game? Bloody foreigners. That's what I say. Bloody foreigners. This is why we had Brexit. Hey, don't. I'm joking. So we'll be back tomorrow, post-match, for the post-match show, if I'm still alive with this cough. I'm off to do a COVID test, so fingers crossed. Thanks for Jackson for coming on. Hey, what a good time to be a Leicester fan. New stadium, new players. And it's a free beer and a free water before the game tomorrow. That's if Carlsberg did football owners, and I think they do, and we've got them. Thanks very much for watching. See you tomorrow, guys. Stay safe.
Hello,
Goodbye.
Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all their social media platforms for all the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
To an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.